Welcome to the annual meeting for Heartland. We're so excited to have you here tonight. You should all have a handout that was given to you when you checked in, which is the agenda, which you see on the screen, and the many questions that we received when we sent out the annual meeting notice, along with the answers that we have provided for you. So please take a moment to read those. And if you'll hold all questions until the end, we would greatly appreciate it. So we have a couple of guest speakers tonight. Dr. Wendy Eldridge and Keith, I'm so sorry I forgot your last name. And Keith is also with Crandall ISD. Dr. Wendy is the Crandall ISD superintendent. So she will be speaking, and then after she speaks, Chief Frierson with Crandall PD. So again, thank you for coming.
I really appreciate you all coming out tonight. I always enjoy coming here every year, and I always say, oh, I know you came to hear the school update, but it's really about all these wonderful prizes that you may get. So I'll be quick. We have a lot of things going on in our district, and it's so exciting. One, you all know that our growth is growing, more and more. So we enrolled our 6,000 student. So as of last Friday, we're at 6,007. We're one of the fastest growing school districts. Dallas Morning News is doing an article about how fast growth we are. It should come out next week. So if you still get the paper or read it online, you want to look for that. Our buses, and you see them travel, they go everywhere. This is a map of where all of our students are coming from. People always say, oh, everybody's moving from Dallas. But this is a map of where all of our kids are coming from. United Kingdom, Germany. It's amazing to see that everyone is moving to Texas. So it's just interesting to look at the demographics. This is our student that, Delia is her name. She was our student, our 6,000 student. And you can notice that these eyelashes are a big deal now. So, but she's a beautiful girl. So we will be doing a story on her. That's Miss McAfee, our principal at the middle school. One of the things that we're most proud of is our cosmetology program. And this is actually one of our maintenance guys getting a free haircut. So I'm going to give you at the very end a Let's Connect, and some of you are familiar with that. And if you send us an email, and I can also give the information to Dodie, we're starting to do openings for our cosmetology kids because they need to get hours. So if you want to get a blowout, we've started facials. It's completely free because they have to get their hours. And they have named it Pirate Beauty. So if you want to be a Pirate Beauty, you can come to our cosmetology. It's in our central office building. And y'all, it is very nice. So if you'd like to participate in that, here's our facial room. So elementary 6 is going up close to the middle school. You may see that construction. We just ordered a big sticker visual so that you can see what that school looks like. It's very modern, very modern. What we've learned is security is important, but so is lighting. And we're building schools for our future, not for today. So some of them have unique library settings. It's going to be 98,000 square feet. Y'all, the price of construction to build schools is astronomical. So as of today, it's $41 million. It will house 850 kids. So we hope, now it says 2023, don't hold me to that because I just heard today about getting steel. You can see the uniqueness of collaboration spaces and lots of light. One of the things I love to promote is our fine arts. And so really being able to use our spaces for our kids. Our kids, y'all, you probably already know this, they can do technology and still looking at you. So we want to promote the technology, the collaboration. But this is a picture, and I haven't even showed this to the school board yet, but this is the picture of what our library, we have a reading nook in the back left. It's got a floating screen, but it also opens up to the cafeteria. So we can actually put a floating stage here. We can do performances, have parent meetings. It's such an inviting setting. Then what I learned from having kids and also parenting all of your kids is that you ask kids, do you go to the library? And they're like, why would I go to the library? So we have to make the library a creative space that we want them to learn and talk to others. So I just think that's an awesome picture, so we're real excited about that. Our middle school update, these numbers are amazing to me. We actually had our staff convocation here, our cheerleaders. If you haven't been in our double-sided stage, we had all of our staff in one place for the first time ever. So it was just our staff pep rally. It was amazing. We did some numbers. We have 326 students in our band program. That is awesome. If you haven't been to a Friday Night Lights and you hear our band, but we have to train these kids from when they're young. So we're so excited about that. We have 234 kids in football. And y'all, those kids have to get there and be on the field at 6 a.m. That is 234 dedicated students. And I'm sure if some of you have had to take your kids to practice, good thing there's no traffic that early. So 234 kids. Our volleyball team plays tomorrow night. Last night they played. If they beat Ennis tomorrow, they will be in the playoffs. This is Lee Gardner. Her mom also teaches in our district. Our serving lines are amazing at the high school. We have 4, so kids get their food faster. We're doing a lot of performing arts. We just want to grow our kids in every different way. So I am going to introduce you to Keith Chapman. He's our Director of Safety and Security, Emergency Management, and many other things. And I can just tell you, I could not do my job without this man, because our job is to keep our kids and families safe. So Keith?
I appreciate y'all having me. What I want to do is just share some successes we've had very briefly. The biggest one is the governor gave us a lot of things, and the Texas School Safety Center gave us a lot of things we had to do this summer. This isn't all of them, but this is one of them, and that's they came out and they are doing intrusion audits. You may have seen stuff on the news about it, where they come to a random campus and they try to get in the door, they walk around the building and they see if somebody's going to stop them. So we've had 2 in Heartland, Dietz and Walker. The auditor came out, and funny story, he walked onto the playground at Dietz, and one of our teachers saw him, and she said, "No, where are you going?" And he said, "Well, she said, "I don't care where you're from. Go to the front door and check in like you're supposed to." But what they do is they go around the school, they pull on 3 or 4 doors. If they can't get in, they go around to the front and they check in with the staff, and then they walk with an administrator and check every exterior door to see if it's locked. And then they go and check all the classroom doors. They do spot checks of classroom doors to see if they're shut and locked while kids are being educated. And then the last thing they do is ask for our weekly exterior door audit, which our team goes around every week, and we're checking all the doors. And that's on top of what the staff does every day to make sure those doors are locked and secured. Well, I'm happy to say that we had no corrective action, no findings, which means the auditor couldn't get in the building. The auditor, when they walked with the administrator, they didn't find any classroom doors open while kids were being taught, and they didn't find any exterior doors open. And then we showed them all our weekly exterior door audits, which are going really well over the last 11 weeks. So that's good news, because we're keeping our children and our staff safe. The next, just briefly, and there'll be time, we're going to give my email out. I'll give you my email if you want to email me about this. But our district last year started crossing guards from our property to the adjacent property. There's a whole lot of rules, and Chief's not going to talk about that tonight, but there's a whole lot of rules that go into crossing guards. One of those rules is we had to put them through TCOL training by a certified peace officer to show them the rights and wrongs and what they can and cannot do. So we have 7. We have actually added more this year. That was the first year, where we have multiples at each campus. These are teachers who are staff members who are coming in extra early and staying late with no extra pay to make sure your student gets across that street to our property. So I'll be happy to answer any questions about that if you'll send me an email. It's kchapman@crandall-isd.net. Thank you.
Okay, this is the last thing we have, but I do want to introduce somebody back in the, I was going to call it photo booth, but it's the technology booth. Amanda Roberts is our executive administrator, and she does so much for me. I want to thank her because she helped me with this presentation, but she also helps me with Let's Connect. There's only 3 people on this. So if you scan this and you have a concern for the school district, we will answer you. Sometimes I may call you and people go, oh my gosh, are you calling me from your cell? Yes, because I'm always on the go. And you can keep my number and call me or text me. But this is how we want to communicate. You know, there's a lot of things and that get out there on Facebook, but I'm a people person. I want to meet with you. I want to talk to you. If there's a better way, we want to do it. We want to make Crandall ISD the best. And we can't do that without your support. So Amanda helps run that and with me as well. So I just want to thank you all for being here and supporting our schools because it's so important. And I hope you all win a prize tonight. So, here you go. So, thank you, Dodie. Thank you.
So much. Thank you, Dr. Eldridge. Now I want to introduce a man that y'all probably already know, which is Chief Frierson with Crandall PD. I get to escort you to the podium. So he's the man I call on quite a bit, you know, when we need something.
All right, I'm Chief Ryerson, like she said. As Dr. Eldridge said earlier, Crandall is growing huge, and so is the city, so is our police department. I'm sure some of y'all have experienced the traffic jams in Crandall, down at 148, 175. Well, the 2 officers that y'all have been seeing down there directing traffic, we have partnered with the school to help pay these officers on their off time to go down there and direct traffic to try to help the flow through there. But that's a partnership that the school and the PD have. So right now, like I said, we're growing police department. So if you know anybody that needs a job, we're hiring. We currently have 3 openings. We're approved for a total of 23 officers. So that means we have 23 on staff right now, or excuse me, 20 on staff right now. We're approved for 3 more. 9 of those police officers are assigned to Heartland itself. That's 8 guys on patrol and 1 investigator assigned to Heartland specifically. We're guessing there's approximately, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dodie, there's about 14,000 people maybe that live out in Heartland. So that's a big, it's a big community. We stay busy. The numbers actually went down for our calls for service this year. We've had, that was 2 weeks ago, 5,440 calls for service out in Heartland itself, and that's actually down by about 1,500 or so from the same time last year. Approximately 529 offense reports and incident reports filed, and approximately 108 arrests. Now, some of those arrests would have taken place on a traffic stop or something that a warrant might not even have anything to do with Heartland. Might have had something to do with just somebody driving through. Since Heartland is not inside the city limits, everything that has to do with citations or Class C offenses, they all go through the JP Court number 4, which is located in Kemp. And just so if y'all been ones that getting pulled over, whatever, neither the city or the MUD district get any of the fine money from these citations, so we're not out there trying to make a buck. We're actually trying to get compliance and make it safer for the neighborhood driving through. When we do arrest somebody out in Heartland, we take them to the Kaufman County Sheriff's Office. If you have a relative or someone that's been arrested by us or even Kaufman County, they all go to Kaufman County Sheriff's Office, and you can find out any of their information, the bond amount and stuff, if you get on Kaufman County's website. All cases are filed through the Kaufman County DA's office, and domestic violence, if you know of someone, please have them call. That's probably the biggest thing when you get a big group of people living in the same area. That's probably one of our biggest calls out there is the domestic violence. Obviously, there's a a landline straight to the PD, which is that 469 number. But anytime during an emergency, I would suggest to call 911 because not always is there somebody to answer the phone at our PD, and it'll create a couple extra rings. If y'all call the police department, it'll eventually, if nobody's there, it'll roll over to the sheriff's office, and they'll dispatch an officer that's on duty. Monday through Friday, either there is some sort of admin staff there. I'm up and down, in and out of the office, and so is the lieutenant. My lieutenant's name is Lieutenant Eli for short. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name because I still mess it up. We do not have any civilian employees that work for the police department. So if you request open records or call up there, you're always going to get one of us. We do have some of the court ladies work up front, sit up front. So if you do walk in, there will be somebody there to greet you Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It's just they're not one of our employees. And of course, we're still in a new building, so we like to show it off. To us, it's 150% or probably 200% better than what we used to have. It's located at 104 East Trunk Street, and we've been in there for almost 2 years now. We're still proud of it from what we came from. The previous department we were in was 974 square feet. So now we're over 6,000. So we're still pretty proud of that, and we're not too far away from outgrowing it already, actually, as fast as we're adding officers, and we'll soon to be civilian staff. So if y'all have any questions or any comments about our department, I'm glad to hear anything, glad to talk to anybody. My lieutenant's always available as well. So I'll hang around a little bit later. If y'all want to ask me a question or have any comments, just let me know.
Thank you. Okay, so many of you know me. I'm Dodie Slama. I'm the Executive Director for Heartland. I do want to introduce one more person. She's not speaking tonight, but she is here, and she's going to stick around until after the meeting in case any of you have questions. And that is Katie May with Infomark. Katie, are you in here? There you are. There she is. So I wanted to introduce her. She's agreed to stick around, so if you have any questions for Infomark, seek her out at the after party. So I'm going to officially call the 2022 annual meeting to order. So the door prizes we have requires a lot of donations from many people, and those companies are on this slide. They've been very generous, so as you can see, we have some great prizes up here that are going to be given away tonight. So hopefully you'll win something. At this time, I'm going to call Brian Mason to the stage. He is your community manager, and he will talk about the management team.
Good evening, folks. I'm the guy with the heart box. My name is Brian Mason. I am your community manager for Heartland. I would love to thank everybody for coming out. It shows that you care and that you enjoy. I'm sorry? Is that better? Can we? Yeah? Been told my voice carries. I don't know. Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. This is a great attendance. You folks, you'll see the theme throughout this presentation is a heartbeat, and you folks, the homeowners, you are the heartbeat of Heartland. And it is our pleasure, it's my pleasure, it's our staff, our team's pleasure to serve as your management company. Since 2006, CCMC has been the management company for Heartland, and we could not be any more proud to be of service to you folks. At this time, I'd like to just run through and introduce our team. Previously was Dodie Slama. She is the executive director. Myself, handsome guy in the suit. Then we have Jerry Wellman, the maintenance director. We have Catherine Kemp. Many of you may know her as Kitty, or all of you know her as Kitty. We have Ryan Alexander, our lifestyle director. If you have not met Ryan at one of his great events, I highly suggest that you go out either to meet him or just experience the event. We have Duncan Modlin, who is our community standards coordinator. Sheena Hickey, an accounts receivable. Lee Denny, our communications coordinator. And Cheyenne Martin, our front desk associate. If you have been into the office, you have most certainly seen her smiling face. If you have not, please come in. Not just for her smiling face, but for any of us, we can all help. And then with maintenance, we have Brady Compton, who is a maintenance associate, Alan Goodson, who is our facilities director, Charles Finley, a maintenance assistant, and Gary Crawford, a maintenance technician. So as Dodie said, we do have some fantastic door prizes. And at this time, I'm going to shake my little heart box. I wish it was heart-shaped. See if these mitts fit in the little, the first gift that we're going to give out is a pop-up movie theater that has been donated by Symphony Risk. Symphony Risk is the insurance provider for the association. We should have got a drum roll. Ticket 114525. 11. Hey! Woo! Yeah! We're going to need double validation. Let me see that ticket. We've got a... Ma'am, I need that back. Our next gift is a $100 gift card from Strategic Landscaping. That is the landscaping maintenance provider within the association. And that ticket number is 114514. 11. Hey, all right. 2 forms ID, the ticket, and your home address, please. Thank you, sir. All right, next on the list is a gift basket from Lennar, one of the builders within the association. That ticket number is 114501. Hey, all right, woo! Can we get a little bit on middle and right side? Somebody, please. I don't care if you lie at this point, just somebody over here, you know. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm going to shuffle, right? I like this one. I feel good about this one. Next up, we have from we have a kitchen mixer from Texas Pride, the Exxon gas station that is within the association. She's saying she doesn't want the kitchen mixer. Ticket number 114473. I bet you it's yours. No? 11. Hey, all right. Told you we were getting in the middle. We're working there. You hit the back, too. That's it for now. Yeah, that's it for now. So this list right here, this is, even though we have the on-site management team at Heartland, there is also a lot of other individuals that work for CMC that serve your association. And this is, there are offices in Plano and Scottsdale, Arizona. The Chief Executive Officer, Todd Davidson, the President of Community Financial Services, Kim Wiebelhaus, our Senior Vice President, Community Operations, Brett Wickland. Brett's the guy that gives out the gifts, so. We have the Vice President of Resident Experience, which is Alyssa Wilson. Community Accountant, Krista Powell. Accounts Receivable, Aaron Gillis. Accounts Payable, Vanessa Figueroa. The AR Supervisor, Samantha Nadell. And the Accountant Supervisor, which is Vicky Coe. These individuals, in addition to the management team, on site, that's what ensures the community runs operationally smoothly, as smooth as possible. At this time, I would like to introduce the Board of Directors for the Heartland Community Association. Your President of the Board of Directors is Mark Edgren. And then not in attendance, we have the Vice President, Colin Huffines, and the Secretary, Terry Basher. This is the Board of Directors. Look at those faces, huh? And then we have the Heartland Community Association Resident Advisory Committee. It's a long way. This is also known as the RAC. We got a little code, earlobe means slide. What is the Resident Advisory Committee? The Resident Advisory Committee, also known as the RAC, consists of 7 members, all of whom are homeowners within the association, within the community. The Resident Advisory Committee, the RAC, acts as the liaison between the homeowners and the Board of Directors. And at this time, I would like to introduce and just familiarize these members of the Resident Advisory Committee. Ms. Billy Henderson. Christopher Lubwama. Franzel Anderson. Genevieve Williamson. Mr. Kevin Cox. Kevin also allowed us to use this space tonight, so again, another round of applause for that. It's incredible. And then not to be outdone, Miss Pat Perryman as well. What, you gotta, okay. I'm not allowed anymore. This gift is a Halo gift card and Bluetooth tumbler. The donor is Huffines. I didn't pull this one, so if it's left and front, I did not do it. The ticket number is 114424. 114424. Sir. Next, we have a gift basket from Impression Homes, another one of the builders within the community. That ticket number is 114505. Thank you, sir. Next up, we have a $250 Home Depot gift card from Infomark.
We're going to take bids on this one.
So I see a potential barter system happening with the mixer lady and the Home Depot. I'm not, I don't even. Whew, I'm getting excited. All right, ticket number 1145. He's halfway up. 2-1. 1-1, 4-5, 2-1. Ma'am, you're going to have to fix that awning on your own. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, sir. Last one we have is a camp out night bag that was donated by Trinity Valley Electric Co-op. That was short. 114475. 114475. And at this time, I will pass the baton to Miss Dodi Slama. I like claps too.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it. Okay, so we've had a lot of good wins this year in Heartland, and we want to share those with you. So we completed a successful and thorough reserve study, which later I'll explain to you what a reserve study is. That reserve study, along with the budget, is going to allow us to fully fund those reserves through 2024. We've added a new playground on Aurora. We hired a new landscape company, which we spoke to earlier. They started in February, about the time that everything got busy and the grass started growing, and Heartland is such a huge community, so they struggled a little bit trying to grasp everything they're responsible for, but they are doing a good job, and we think they'll continue to do a good job. We also hired a new pool company, Safeguard, which provided the lifeguards and the pool monitors this year at the pools. And hopefully y'all saw the improvement we did in the office. Everything ran more smoothly at the pools this year, so hopefully y'all saw that. Communications, we made many improvements in communications, which Lee will talk to later on. Of course, Crandall Middle School was completed and opened this year, and then Crandall ISD started construction on the new elementary that's going to be in Heartland. If y'all don't know where those schools are, one is on Fletcher. The new elementary school is going to be on Fletcher, right across the street from the dog park. And then if you go on down Fletcher and cross Bronte, the middle school is on your left. They are state of the art. That middle school is beautiful. If you haven't seen it, try to find time to go tour it. It's gorgeous. Made me want to go back to school. So we also updated signage at the Heartland Parkway Park, because it had not been replaced or updated since, I think, 2006, when that park was open. Community goals for 2023. If you go down Heartland Parkway, you're going to see the sidewalks that every time it rains, the dirt washes onto the sidewalk. And poor Brady, who picks up trash for us on the community, he gets out there and shovels that dirt off that sidewalk every time. So we're working on a project to correct that problem. And if you've gone down Heartland Parkway, we did one as a sample. We added river rock and mulch, and we kind of left it to see how that was going to go, to make sure that the river rock didn't start disappearing or getting thrown. And it's held up very well. So we're going to continue that project. Of course, the developer continues to add lots. We have completed an inspection of all the streets in Heartland. And the engineer, the district engineer, is in the process of putting that list together, and they will be bidding out the repairs that need to be done throughout Heartland. And then they will prioritize how we go about getting those street repairs done based on what the budget will allow this year. And then it may be a project over several years, but we're going to do them as quickly as we can. Access system. And we know that you all have had an issue at one time or another with getting into the fitness center, and we regret that. But we have been working diligently to control or to fix that problem. we have gotten a proposal to completely replace the access system in 2023 with a whole new system, with something better. We'll work on the cameras and the audio for the music along with that. And then landscape replacements, we have quite a few trees that died, as long as some shrubs with either the freeze or the drought. And we're working to get those replaced also in the 2023 budget. And then the last thing is, of course, we have continued to have positive growth in Heartland. And we think that 2023, we're going to continue that, right, Mark? I think that was a yes. What do you think? So, okay. Heartland financials. So I'm very, very excited to say that we have completed the 2023 budget, and the board has approved it, and there will not be a dues increase or an assessment increase in 2023. So your assessments will remain $246 semi-annually, due February the 1st and August the 1st. So that is good news. So we talked about the reserve study just a moment ago, and I'm sure you're asking, what is a reserve study? So the reserve study is a third-party company that comes out, and they inspect every capital improvement component within your association. Then they give that component a life and a projected replacement cost. So with that, we have looked at what it's going to take to fund the reserve study, or the reserves, which is like a savings account for you, and we can fund that reserve through 2024. Many associations struggle to even fund the reserves 60%. Heartland is very fortunate that we're going to fully fund it 100% through 2024. And what does that mean for you? Yeah? Thank you. Thank you. What that means for you is that when it comes time to replaster the pool, or replace the roofs on the event building, or those capital improvements, the money's going to be there, and it's not going to require a special assessment or an increase in dues. So, thank you. Another question that we get quite often is, where does my money go? So we've given you a little breakdown here. Your dues of $246 semi-annual equates to $41 a month. So 44% of that, or $18, goes to administrative. And administrative covers several different things. It covers management, it covers legal, website, lifestyle, all the fun events that Ryan puts on for you, postage, copies. There's just a whole list of things that's encompassed in administrative. Contracts are things like your landscape company, your pool company, your lifeguards, your monitors, those things. 27% goes to contracts, or $11. Repairs and maintenance is 10%, or $4. Utilities is 7%, or $3. Insurance, which is your insurance company for your common areas, liability, directors and officers insurance, those type of things, $4. Parts and supplies, 2%, $1. So, oh, it's time.
The prizes are so good, they have to send security up.
Thank you so much. Up on the list, we have a gift basket from Lennar. 114470. Feeling it? Feeling it? Yep. Yay! Next up, we have a TV from CCMC, the management company. Hey! He pulled the ticket. Ticket number 114434. Hey! All right. 114434. Next up, we have a Yeti tumbler and a Lowe's gift card. We're getting close. It's not Home Depot, but you know. From Brandon Industries, sorry, that drummer's arm is tired, I know. 114427. What happened? And then we have another camp out night bag from Trinity Valley Electric Co-op. I did snoop around in there. There's some pretty awesome stuff in there. Ticket number 114515. Right. There's one more. Oh. And I skipped one apparently. We have a $100 gift card from Strategic Landscaping. Ticket number 114506. 114506. All right. Where did you guys pull your tickets from back there? Did you bother to get one? I mean, you just. All right, so in June, the Heartland Community Association Management Team, CCMC, conducted a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis covers strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats within the association. That information was derived from a survey that was sent out in April of 2022. After receiving that information, the management team identified strategic planning initiatives based on those results that led to the upcoming management goals. Some of these goals, you're going to see a big focus on what we want to do is we want to engage more with you, with the heartbeat, with the homeowners. We are going to, you can read up here, I'm not going to just go over this, but we want to connect more with our homeowners. We really do believe in getting to know our residents and being of service and showing how grateful and privileged we are to serve as your management company. So we're going to highlight different team members once a month through the newsletter. As Dodie said, the access control system, if any of you in this room have spoken to me over the phone or via email, you would know that it has been nothing short of a headache, and I assure you guys we are so close. And we are getting there, and we are very excited for what is to come in the following year. You are definitely going to see more of a team engagement from the Heartland team at different community engagement events. And then a multi-platform, I'm not even going to say that. We're going to connect more with we're going to connect more with residents. We're going to have residents get more involved. We have the manager meetups. If you have not been to one of them, I highly suggest going out. We have the Popcorn Fridays in the office on, I think, 11 to 4. You want to get that? Folks, but really what it is we do want you in the office. We want to see your faces. We want to answer your questions, and we want to be of service. Anytime you see that newsletter, at the bottom of that newsletter, you're going to see an email for every single person in our office, from community standards to community operations to community management to executive director. We are here to serve you folks. We're here to answer your questions and hopefully give you the answers that you want to hear. Hopefully. I cannot guarantee that last part. But please, if you have not come into the office, we strongly encourage it. We would love to see you there. And we'd love to sit down and talk and hear what you're thinking, what you're concerned about, what you want to know. With that being said, I'm going to introduce Catherine Kemp, also known as Kitty, and she is going to talk briefly about community standards. Give it up for Kitty, y'all.
Thank you, Brian. Good evening, everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces from orientations or the many years that I've had the pleasure to serve you all here in Heartland. I'm just going to touch on a couple of the slides tonight. One thing that I do as an operations coordinator is I deal a lot with the architectural requests that come across my desk. Anything from storage sheds to built-in pools. It's the entire realm. So what we did was we put a graph together, and this is only 9 months, folks. So this kind of gives you an idea of how active this community is. You know, once they purchase their home, they're not done. They've still got a lot of improvements, exterior improvements that they want to make. And if you'll notice, in just 4 months or 9 months period of time, 420 different types of requests or modifications for homes in Heartland, and we've still got another 3 months to go. So and if you look at the month of June, it just exacerbated. It blew up. Like I said, from everything from storage sheds to patio covers to built-in pools, all over the place. I get a lot of questions about the architectural process. Please feel free, and I'll visit with you after the meeting, but feel free to also utilize the community website. Anything you could possibly want to know about Heartland is on the community website. Lee, our communications director, has done a fabulous job of providing information to the homeowners. So feel free to talk to me after the meeting if you have any questions, or you have you think you might be making some kind of modification or improvement and you just need some answers. We can chit-chat after the meeting. And then, of course, there are the violation stats. Right now, we have 2 community standards coordinators that drive the property daily, every day, during business hours. And as you can see, the most prevalent matter that they come across is landscaping. And of course, your yard is the first thing that's noticeable when compliance is driving the community or other people are driving past your home. Your landscape is what's most noticeable. So it's obvious that would be probably a matter that would get picked up pretty quickly. So these 2 community standards coordinators, what they're doing when they drive the community, they're following the guidelines that's set forth for them. That is their job. Never ever take a violation notice personally. That's the last thing that we want to do. Really what we're looking for is compliance. And we initiated this past year a new policy of sending out an email before sending out any letters, just as a very gentle heads up. And anytime that you have a question or a concern or even a disagreement with a notification that you got, please feel free to give us a call. You can call us, you can email, you can come by the office, and we always enjoy that opportunity to be able to chat with you. And that's how we get to know the members in the community also, or the homeowners. And it gives you an opportunity to meet us and put a face to a name. And again, if you've got any questions concerning any kind of compliance notice that you receive, feel free to hit me up after the meeting. So at this time, Oh, good, good. It's giveaway time.
All right, Brian, you get to come up here and draw the numbers now. I like the remix of the air horn. That was good. Changed it up some. All right, you ready? You can take that lid off too if your hand doesn't fit in there. All right, so the first thing we've got is a gift basket and gift cards from Chesmar Homes. We're looking for 114508. Where? Nice. All right, and we have another gift card and Bluetooth tumbler provided by Huffines.
Feels right.
114435. We haven't gotten back right yet. Okay. We'll get there. All right, where are we at? Okay. So this one is a pair of mini smartwatches provided by Henry, Odo, Austin, and Fletcher. All right, back right. The card just says back right. Y'all can fight over it. 114507. Ah! We got right side. We're getting there. All right, this one's going to be one. Oh, we do that one first. Okay. This one is another camp out night bag provided by Trinity Valley Electric Co-op. 114446. There we go. All right, and mysteriously, I'm going to win this one. So, sorry, I'm going home with that. So this one is obviously a remote-controlled monster truck donated by Symphony Risk. Somebody's about to have some fun. 114524. Yeah! That's it. See, back right. Back right got the monster truck. It was worth the wait. All right, so like Kitty said, my name is Ryan Alexander. I am the lifestyle director here in Heartland. The easiest way to explain what we do with lifestyle and what we do in Heartland is with pictures. So we're going to start that way. I can say a bunch of words and tell you how much fun we had, but if you look at those pictures that we've skipped past, there we go, you can see the amount of fun that we're having here in Heartland, and that's the best part of my job, is I basically get to help y'all have fun. With that fun, it was a learning year for me. I am new. I've been here 6 months, I believe it says. Time flies when you're having fun. So it's been a learning experience for me. With that comes some success and some things we want to celebrate. If you were at the Heartland Bunny Hop, you saw that we dropped 10,000 eggs, and it wasn't enough, and we'll need even more next year. So that tells you how many eggs and how many people are showing up to these events. We had a bunch of excited kids. Like Brian said, you've probably seen me at these events. I might be the guy with the face paint. We don't know. I got to test out quality control. If you attended the Independence Day celebration, you saw the amount of people that we had there. It was so much fun. You got a front row show from a professional fireworks company, and literally every food truck you could imagine. One of the favorite events of the year was Lee, our communications coordinator. She led the Sip, Savor, and Shop vendor market that happened just a couple of weeks ago. We had 30 plus local vendors. We had the Crandall ISD PTA groups out. We had our local clubs, PTO. Did they change the name? Oh, okay. Learned something new today. And then we have all of our community partners, everybody that helps make sure these events go well. This weekend we have Haunted Heartland, and a new attempt at something we're going to try to be a little different than the events you see across the Metroplex, and we're doing an indoor haunted house at the Oasis. This was so popular that we had to open up more slots, and we're coordinating with the company to open up even more slots. This sold out, so we're trying to accommodate as many people as popular. That's how much people wanted to go. And then earlier in June, we had the Family Fun Fishing Fest. It's an event that we do every year, a fishing event on Texas Free Fishing Day, where you don't have to have a license. But what we did this year was we found a great partner in the Crandall High School bass fishing team. And they is a group of boys on the team that led the entire event. And a bunch of kids had fun. Some adults were even out there. I feel like the adults might have caught some of the fish for the kids, but the fish was bigger than the kid. I'm not going to say anything. But it was a great event, and all we did was we learned and we found these partnerships in the community to make them better. With the theme of it, we like to learn what makes the hearts beat in Heartland. Like Brian said, you are what makes the heartbeat of Heartland. You are the heartbeat of Heartland. So a few things we've learned that you love. Food trucks. You love food trucks, and I will tell you, food trucks love you. We are one of the few communities where the food trucks call us. They want to come to Heartland events because they know you're going to show up and they know you're excited. So that's very rare. Bubble cannons. That's something we had every water slide you could imagine at our end of summer event, and the bubble cannon was the runaway hit. Lee loved it because it provided some great photo ops. We didn't lose any children in the foam either, so don't worry. Celebrating all the furry friends here in Heartland. Just recently we had Paws in the Pool to celebrate the end of the pool season. Got all of our dogs out to go swimming. I learned that I can just market a Paws in the Pool event and you'll bring your dogs for me to play with. Love that. We've done a couple of events with adoptions on site. The Humane Society of North Texas has just built their Kaufman County Center. So they came out. One of the things we're most proud of is at the Sip, Savor, and Shop event, they brought 8 dogs, and every single dog went home that day adopted. To give you some context there, the center that day had 2 dogs adopted. So we had more dogs adopted at our event than the Kaufman County Center did. And then Lee also started the Dog of the Month in our newsletter. That's something she wanted to do. She reached out to a local dog group, and now if you have a dog that you want to celebrate, send him to us, send her to us, and we'll celebrate him in the newsletter. And then another thing we've focused on is connecting in the community. We work with the Crandall PD. We came out and I saw Chief Frierson play kickball, which is not something you ever think you'd see, but it's more athletic than you think. Our groups and clubs have grown. We have a golf club, a Saturday morning soccer club. Our chess club just celebrated their 4th anniversary. And our women, wine, and conversation groups, and they're all growing. We've also gotten the Girl Scouts more involved out here. We now have 8 troops here in Heartland. We've got more Crandall ISD connections than we've had in the past. Like we said, bringing out the PTO to these events and sharing their information with you more intentionally. Miss Billy here got me to start a Kaufman County Master Gardeners monthly program that we have 2 2 months in a row, we've had to shut off registration early because it filled up so fast. And then so much more. We're just building in the community, and that's what's fun. And then the one we never thought we'd see, if you go back, I have to point this out. Face painters. I physically can't hire enough face painters. We did 2 at Easter, line out the door. 3 at the 4th of July, line out the door. So we're going to have to start training face painters in the community. If any of you are interested, just let me know. We can get you set up because constant work. So with all that learning, we're planning for the remainder of the year and then going into 2023. So we've got the future of fun in Heartland. Obviously upcoming, we've got some Santa events. We all know him. We'll do breakfast with Santa, so everybody can come in, have some breakfast, do some crafts, meet Santa. And then we'll do Holly Jolly Heartland, which will be a carnival-style event. Somebody told me that there is a 10-foot slide with 40,000 pounds of crushed ice to sled on coming. So be on the lookout for that. And then looking at the survey that you all filled out, there was also a request for more adult-focused events in 2023. So we'll be bringing in quarterly happy hours at the Oasis. We'll have a barbecue competition coming up. So if you feel like you're Aaron Franklin or a professional, I'll try out your brisket. I will literally probably be the judge of the competition because you don't get a physique like this without knowing what good brisket tastes like. And then another thing that we've had a lot of requests for now that the pool season ended is bringing back the adult pool party. So we will be bringing back adult pool parties next season as well. And like I mentioned, the surveys, we do pay attention to those. We want to know what you want. Fitness classes were prevalent in the survey, so that's something we're working to bring in 2023. We have a great fitness center. We want to be able to utilize it not just for your workouts, but if you want classes, if you want somebody else to come in and train, that's what we want to provide to you. That partnership with the Girl Scouts that I mentioned, we're working with them to have a community camp out next spring. And then, kind of like the face painters, the one that was really shocking for me is an on-site. Y'all really want a shredding event? And we're going to, it's on the schedule, I promise you. So I assure you we're listening. We got it scheduled. It's coming out. So we will happily let you shred all those things. So as we move into communications, I do want to thank you. I want to thank you for welcoming me to the community. I want to thank you. Most of all, I want to thank you for showing up. Unlike any community I've ever worked in, you show up. The hardest part of my job is preparing for the sheer amount of people that come to an event, because Heartland shows up. You're going to show up and you're going to have fun. And that makes my job both difficult and really easy. So thank you so much for that. With all that said, I do want to introduce Lee Denny, our communications coordinator.
All right, so I am Lee Denny. As most of you know, some of you may have seen me at the orientations that we hold here in Heartland, especially if you're a new homeowner. I know that there are some people out there that had never attended a new homeowner orientation, so if you're interested in coming, you are also more than welcome to sign up. We give away goodie bags. We let you know about the community. Lots of really fun and exciting information can be learned at those. But in reference to this presentation today about communications, just about this time last year, I was hired on as the communications coordinator for Heartland Management. And I stood on a stage similar to this and told you guys a lot of things that I wanted to implement to just connect this community more. And I'm really excited to let you know that everything that I promised you guys and more was all done. So we're just going to go through some of the things that we have. But at first, go back a little bit. So first, I just want to tell you exactly what a communications coordinator is and what I do. I work under Lifestyle, so a small part of my role is helping Ryan with those events that he holds, but also making sure that the pictures are taken at those events and such. But more than anything, communications to me equals connection, and connection within the community. And we can now go over to the next one and talk a little bit more detail about some of the things that we've implemented. So when I came on, one of the bigger things that I wanted to do was make sure that I started working on the social media pages. And that means that I wanted to uniform everything, make sure that it was branded to the Heartland brand because it is so unique, and making sure that that familiarity is very important as a homeowner. I know that you guys appreciate it, and I love making those things for you. Also, the weekly newsletters. So when I started here, the open rate, which is essentially how many people of the 5,000 homes that we send that newsletter to every week, how many open it? And when I started, it was at 32%, and it is now above 70. So that means that means a lot of things. That means that one, you guys are actually getting the information, and two, you're enjoying it. In addition to that, also responsibility matrix. So you can find this as well as the welcome guide all on the website. And then what essentially that welcome guide is we give that out to new homeowners, but it is a tell-all for anything in Heartland that you could possibly need. Also had some long-term goals, so digitizing and digitalizing, doing QR codes. But what I want to tell you about the responsibility is that a lot of times at Heartland, we'll get phone calls and they'll say, there's a lost dog, or my trash wasn't picked up. That responsibility matrix available on the website is a really good resource because it's going to tell you, if you have that question, where exactly and who exactly you're going to call in order to get that information. And then the FAQs, so also on this website, something else that we were really tasked with making sure that we implemented and bettered was that website, making that user-friendly. So spent a lot of time going over some other association websites, asking you guys in our survey what you wanted to see, how we wanted it formatted, and then taking it and putting that all into a user experience that was friendly and functional. And that includes an FAQ. So if you pop onto that website and you click that first button that says FAQ, every single one of those questions on there is going to link you to an answer or where you can get that answer. And then QR codes, also really using these QR codes because one, they're good. As most of you know, if you RSVP'd, we added that in this year, putting a QR code on that mail form so that way you could digitally RSVP. That gives us a couple of options because now we can directly send you this presentation afterwards. And then also, we can make sure that if you have any questions, we have that available for any answers. And then also some of the additional implementations that have gone out is the new homeowner orientation, as I was speaking to. So we started those back up in November, so I was only about a month, and kind of saw that we could save some trees. So we really digitalized a lot of that. So when you go into those orientations now, we have QR codes on there. And then the whole entire presentation, which is that welcome guide, is also available on the website, and that too is digital. And then, of course, the Heartland app. So if any of you guys don't know this, if you go onto the website, a little pop-up screen is going to come up on the bottom that says download the Heartland app. Well, what that is we update that regularly, and you can actually add that to your home screen. So once you go onto it, add it to your home screen. You can access any information all the way from architectural request forms, as Kitty was speaking to. We have 420 so far just this year. So you can find where to submit those. And another thing about architectural forms is something else that was implemented. So a lot of exterior things, every day we're getting in for exterior modifications. Some things like plumbing or electrical you would need a permit for. So creating that packet that says, here's a tell-all for anything that you could possibly have a question about in terms of making a modification to your home, you can find all that in that packet. And then the survey that we spoke to earlier, that community infographic, putting that out to the community and saying exactly how many of you guys responded, what information we got, and how, of course, we're going to use that, as Jody mentioned, for our manager goals. And then connecting in 2023. So we've done all this great work. We've gotten Facebook engagement up. I will say, too, another statistic, because the clapping was nice, is that our engagement's up over 200%. So whenever I came in, we had about anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 eyeballs on it. a month, and we're up to over 12,000 now. So again, that includes you guys. You guys keep. I knew that was going to work. I just got to throw out the stats. I really got to use those to my advantage. But again, in 2023, so as we talked to you earlier, just doing some videos and bios about Meet the Staff. So a lot of you probably call and talk to Duncan on the phone. Hey, you want to know what he does when he goes out and is looking for your homes and how those are following our community standards guidelines? Well, I think I'm going to make him get in the car and I'm going to ride along with him, and I'm going to show you exactly what he does. So we're going to put that out. Also, resident volunteer pet rescue procedures. So we have a Heartland Dog Park Facebook group that we have, and within that group, that's who we use for the Dog of the Month. So we've had some great connections there. We've already got some residents interested in being a part of that. So we're gonna be able to get some of those pets here in Heartland and get a database going so we know whose dogs are who. And then, of course, informing incoming residents, just getting more information from our builders. Also, for any questions that you may have, just making sure that we're readily available to give that to you. And then something I'm really excited for is text messaging services. So this is something I want to get implemented. I know that not everybody is always constantly looking at their email. So we'd love to implement a texting service. That way, if we have to have a power outage, or if there's a Crandall ISD update that we would like to share, because that's one of the things we've also tried to do, is connecting with them to make sure we're sharing that information as well. We'd be able to text you guys and you'd get it right then and there. And then lastly, just some of the resident contact information. So making sure that all of you guys, we actually have your updated emails, so that way we are getting that information to you. And I look forward to doing all of that for you guys. And of course, if you need anything, I'm always available. If you have any ideas, I'd love to take those as well if you have some things that you'd like to see implemented. But I'll also be out there. And then there's going to be a running slideshow of just some great pictures that we've gotten from some of the events just this year. It's about 12 minutes long, but if you'd like to go see some smiling faces of those awesome events that Ryan puts on, then I welcome you to do that. I need a puller. Ooh, that's okay, that's okay. So I just picked one up off the ground, and as Mark mentioned, that might have been one that fell off from this table here. So if you win again, then I'm sorry, you really don't. So the first gift is going to be from Chesmar Homes. It's a winter blanket and cozy candles. $114,453. All right, and this next one, it's in your favor now. So now we've got, this is going to be from Texas Pride, the Exxon gas station, a duo Keurig coffee maker. Mark's making this one really hard. 114,469. Woo! All right, this next one's going to come from Strategic Landscaping Solutions, another $100 gift card. We've got 114,522. 114,522. Going once, going twice. All right, let's draw again. 114,496. All right, there we go. And then we've got one more gift basket from Lennar. All right, 114,438. Awesome. So this lovely helper right here is going to be our next speaker. I'll go slow. It's okay. Go ahead. And this is Mark Edgren. This is the president of a board of directors with Huffines.
Well, I've got to say, I guess first as the HOA president, I'm also the developer of Heartland. My neighborhood, 400 homes, and we have 3 people show up. And I think those 3 people were asleep before halfway through the presentation. So I really appreciate everything that CCMC does out here at Heartland. As Kitty covered, as far as the number of architectural review requests that come in that she's able to process, all the home permits, she has to review every single one of those home permits that you guys move into. They cover a lot of ground, and they do it cheerfully. And I'm just amazed at what they do for you, and then the control of the budgets and everything else. They present the budgets to us, and we look over it. The funding of the reserves is something that is very rare, and I don't think they mentioned that. From the developments that are out there, Huffines and the owner of Heartland is different. We don't want to leave you in a lurch. My current subdivision, the developer left and left no money in reserves, and the brick screening wall is falling apart. So what have they done? They've raised our dues 3 years in a row, to the tune of about $450 a year. It's to have a reserve fund that's fully funded through 2024 is a blessing for you guys. It really is. Let me kind of cover what we've got coming up. There's an old picture of Heartland when it started in 2004. Doesn't look a lot like Heartland today, and that's kind of what real estate is. It's a thought, it's a concept of what it begins. The original developer was out there, and then as it changes through it, in fact, all of those were 40 and 50 foot lots. Then in 2017, you can see everything that's in gray up above. That was already existing in 2017. Then by 2017, we've added those homes, 2018. And you can kind of see the progression as we keep going year to year. 2019, a little bit. 2020, things are going to start slowing down a little bit. Pandemic hit. 2021. And then in 2022, this current year, adding that many homes. A lot of that was based on supply and demand. For those of you who moved in the last year, I imagine you struggled trying to find homes. Everybody across the Metroplex was struggling to try to find homes, so we delivered more lots to the builders. This next year, it's going to be a little bit different. A lot of it is learning experience for the younger generation that's now buying homes. How many here have owned a home in the past that had an interest rate on their mortgage more than 10%? 14% interest rate in my first house. And what? It's really a 7 to 8% interest rate historically is about what the norm is. But you've got a lot of people right now that, my daughter, for instance, she was looking for a house back in January, and she's looking and I can't afford it now. The interest rate's gone up too much. And I think that's going to affect it a little bit coming into this next year. Things are going to slow down a little bit. The government's trying to do what it can to stop inflation. The inflation's hurting everybody. Gas prices going back up. Food is unbelievable what it is these days. So things will be a little bit slower this next year. One of the questions you guys had was, I guess, on the grocery store. That is, I think it's on the next slide, I think. This is Heartland Retail that's at 741 and I-20. Boy, we've been working on this development for probably a good 4 years. We've gone through 4 different grocery stores. The latest grocery store, I don't know if they'll come back, but if you've read in the paper, there's two large grocery store chains that are merging, and it was one of those two. And so they have now put it on hold. So we'll keep pushing. We'll try somebody else. I keep hoping HEB will come in, but it's a little over the top. But we do. We've got the C-store that is right on the corner of 741 Heartland Parkway. It should close this week. They should start construction in about 30 days. Which one? Pardon? Yes. Convenience store coming soon. No, it isn't. The other one that's the convenience store coming soon is down here on this lower corner here. It's not coming there. It's not coming there. It's actually coming to this corner here. And it's one of those, I guess I think it's pretty sure who it's going to be. I mean, it's something I've been thinking about from 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. But they should be breaking ground I think they've got all their permits through the city of Mesquite, and they should be breaking ground within about 30 days, I believe. The other sites, I don't think I've hidden anything about it. I mean, there's some overarching decisions on one site. Let me think. It's what a headache about dealing with these buyers. Let's see. A filet de pollo. There's, yeah, my wife does speak Spanish. I don't. Poquito, just a little bit. But no, we've been in conversations with McDonald's, with Whataburger, with Starbucks. We talk to these people, and we've already been told they'll take over 2 years to come in. So we'll talk to somebody else. We're talking to a bank. A pet supply store is wanting to come in here for all those dogs that are now in Heartland. Actually, Tiff's Treats is looking at coming out. Oh, what? Somebody likes chocolate chip cookies that are warm. So there's a lot of good opportunities. We just got to get with the first one closing. If we can, everybody really wants to wait on the grocery store, and we keep trying on the grocery store. Like I said, we've gone through 4 different ones, and we'll keep pushing, keep trying to get that there. But I think we're going to change strategy. We may go ahead and get all the other sites filled in, and the grocery store will then come. I think it's the next slide is really kind of where it kind of covers. We're currently at 3,650 homes. Heartland was originally going to be close to 8,500 homes at build out, but since then, there's development you'll see going on the other side, FM 741, that Lennar's building some subdivision, and the subdivision over there. It's not Highbridge, it's something in between Highbridge and 741. They bought the 600 acres from Heartland over there. It's called Eastland. It is not going to be part of Heartland. It is not going to be part of your HOA. It's going to be entirely separate. So Heartland's going to be limited. We'll finish out with about 5,300 homes when we're complete here in Heartland. The Exxon owner, he did buy a site adjacent to the Exxon. He's bringing in a car wash. Should be starting construction pretty soon. Cell tower. Yay! We've talked to AT&T, and then they went away. And every time I have to make a phone call, I've got to walk out of the HOA office into the back, on the back patio, just to make a phone call to get reception. But we do have a company that's under contract now. They will go out and they build the cell tower, but then they also contract out to AT&T, to Verizon, to T-Mobile, to anybody else they can get to put on this pole to improve cell reception that's out here. Boy, we've been working with that, trying to get this contract for about a year, but we do have that contract signed now. They are actively pursuing antennas to go on this tower, and hopefully we'll see something start showing up in 3 to 6 months. The CBU, there was another comment that one of the residents made, and it was something we were already looking at, was they're called CBUs, collective mailbox units, thanks to the post office. And this all started about 3 to 4 years ago. We have no control over it as a developer. The post office needs to apparently they need to put everything in one location, but we didn't realize that they don't have lights. So most of us work till morning till night, and so we're looking at adding now lights at each of the collective mailbox units, so that if you come home at night, there will be a lighted area there for you to see it. In fact, a light will even go, we're looking at adding one at the dog park. For those that, if you work late, can still take your dog over there, there'll be illumination there at the dog park. These are all ideas that are coming, really, some of us, it's really from the residents. Somehow somebody has talked to the HOA office, somebody has talked to your own resident advisory committee, and those ideas then get passed up to us as the developer. Oh, we didn't think of it. Let's do it. So those are great ideas that are coming to us. You know, this is the astonishing one about where home prices have gone in Heartland, that these are all the average new home sale, new home price for, if you bought in Heartland in 2014, the average new home price was $190,000. And you look at it last year, the average new home price, $385,000. It's not just Heartland, but it's just crazy numbers. I've been doing development, working in Dallas for 36 years, and I've never seen it like this. I wish I bought a house in 2014, but it's really amazing. And the work that the HOA does in reviewing the architectural reviews and the standards that we have put on the builders for what they build on their homes. We hope you all love your home. It's something that every little detail in that house is special to you. And we want to make sure that house is right. And we think by the construction that our home builders and the choice of home builders that we've had out here should leave a good feeling for each of you in the home that you bought. I think we've got a great stable of builders that are out here. I don't know what else. I'll stick around after the meeting, answer any questions. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Unfortunately, the other two board members, one of them came down sick this afternoon. I haven't been in the office, so there's something going around the office, and the other one is out of the state this week. So apologize for Colin and Terry not being able to be here tonight. Dodie, Brian, anything else you want to add? I know. We've got one.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have generously donated from Safeguard Pool Monitors a round of golf for 4 at Tour 18 golf course. I think the value at this one is over maybe $600-700. It's a really beautiful course. Actually, wait, it's only a round for 2. Ticket number is 114450. 114450.
Back to me.
pass the box.
All right. Again, I'd like to thank Kevin Cox for letting us use this beautiful church for our annual meeting. So we showed this slide once before, but I want to tell you who these people are that have donated all these wonderful prizes that y'all won tonight. So Highland Homes is one of our builders. Inframark is your water purveyor, Katie May. Lennar Homes. Symphony Risk is the association insurance company. Chasmar Homes. Brandon Industries is the company that provides all this, or installs all the cluster mailboxes and the stop signs, things of that nature. CCMC, your management team. Texas Pride is the Exxon station. Huff Fines, our developer and our board. Safeguard, lifeguards and pool monitors. Strategic, your landscape company. HOAF, HOAF, which is Henry Odo Austin Fletcher, is the association attorney. And Impression Homes. So they're not all here, but for those that are, give them a round of applause for some great door prizes. All right, so we're going to officially adjourn the meeting, and most all of us, wait just one sec. Most all of us are going to stick around and answer any questions you have. If you have a question that needs to be answered now, then we will give you a few minutes, but we are going to stick around and do the after party. And we hope you all stay and join us. So, you had a question? Can you come to the mic right up here, please? I'm sorry? Okay. Okay. Understood. So let me make sure I understand the question correctly. That this is for Dietz, basically Dietz Elementary for Ksenia from Sunnybrook to Brenham. Okay, so I actually have a meeting with Officer Simpson tomorrow, and we are looking at making Ksenia one way. So we're looking to see where we can put signs, and we're hoping that that will alleviate quite a few of the traffic issues and stuff. So when I'm there tomorrow, I will also speak to crosswalks. Okay? Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm from South Florida and Palm Beach County, and it had a big building boom. And in South Florida, you would see a Publix, which was our Kroger, just go up in the middle of nowhere. And then you would know, there's going to be gated communities all around it. So you would see a Publix, a gas station, and then the gated communities. It seems like you guys in Texas, you'll build all these houses, but my wife has to drive miles to get to a store. Why is it so hard to get last year you said you're going to see that grocery store. We're breaking ground. You're going to be buying milk from it by the next meeting. Why is it so? And I asked it because I don't know. But like I said, in South Florida, we build the amenities infrastructure first. We have impact fees, and then the developers are allowed to come in, and it doesn't seem to be the way here.
I don't know how they do it in Florida, and I don't know if it's usually based on the number of homes in the area. From what I understand, commercial development will wait until there is 5,000 homes and growing within a 2-mile radius of their store location. They want to verify that the income is up so that people will show up to that grocery store to be able to buy. I have no idea why it takes them so long to make a decision. Really don't. It frustrates me on no end. I feel like I'm going to the Texas Motor Vehicle Department and just waiting in line and get no answers. So we're trying.
I think a lot of it has to do with supply and demand. Your stores want to know that there's enough homeowners in a community to support them. Uh-huh. Okay. Great. Yeah, we think it's all coming too. Did y'all hear what she said? No. The bank was built over there because they're anticipating things are coming. All right. Are there any other questions?
Any plans for expanding the street?
I'm sorry?
Any plans for expanding the road?
Expanding which road?
741.
Yes. Yes. Mark, do you want to talk to expansion of 741? Here. That's okay.
I may stay up there. Boy, they've got what I'll call is 100% schematic, which means TxDOT, their consulting engineer, has already drawn on paper where this road is going to be to a 4-lane divided roadway. It's supposed to be going from the Forney High School all the way down through Heartland down to 175. Kaufman County has already passed a bond program to help fund the construction of that road and numerous other roads within Kaufman County. The last date we heard was 2025 was when they might be moving forward. There's also TxDOT has got an I-20 frontage road project that is not supposed to start until 2028. And this Heartland retail is caught in the crosshairs between both projects. The I-20 frontage road project is contacting us about acquiring right-of-way on that, but we haven't heard anything from TxDOT regarding the FM 741 expansion. It's entirely up to TxDOT at this point. We've already told them that we're putting money in as a developer. We're putting money into building up FM 741, and we're
station and police department that was supposed to be coming to Heartland, and it showed that it was going to be placed like right across from the HOA office. Is that true? It's
I believe they're about 2 years away. They're supposed to be passing, I don't know if it's bonds, but you'd have to check with Kaufman County ESD number 7. They're the ones that cover Heartland. And they are, from last I'd heard, it was somewhere 2024, I think, is when they were looking at building that fire station.
So there wasn't another location that they could have selected besides that location? Because it seems like that's going to take common area away from us.
It takes a little bit away. They needed a location that had easy access to the north side of Heartland, north of 741. They also needed access to 741 to go east and west on it. And so that was a central location that they were looking at.
Thank you. I have a quick question about recycling. My wife and I moved in the area in April, and so we contracted the service that's available. And I think since April until now, we may have had only 2 pickups, and so eventually we end up canceling that. So is there anything we can do about that, or is there any other vendors we can look at bringing into the area to, handle all our recycling?
So did you say y'all are using Recyclops? Is that who you're using for
Right.
for recycling? Is Recyclops?
Yes,
Okay. And you're having problems with their pickups?
since day one, since the very beginning.
Okay. Well, we will reach out to Recyclops and see if we can resolve the issues y'all are having. There is no other option at this time that we're aware of. The trash company, it's not viable for them. It's not viable for them to do recycling. We've reached out to them over the years, and at this point, it's not financially productive for them. And even if we got the trash company to do recycling, there would be a fee, and we don't know what that fee would be because they're saying that it's just not even viable for them. But we will check on Recyclops and see what we can do for you. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hi, I live on French Creek, past the amenity center. That grassy area that's past the amenity center, is any plan on doing anything with it? Because a lot of times it's an eyesore. It doesn't get cut. There's no landscaping or anything like that.
It's no man's land. So,
Think about maybe a park for the kids that live on that side, or a playground or something.
yeah, I know that the developer has looked at that, trying to figure out what to do with that property. Anything new?
As of right now, it's just a commercial site. We don't know what it's going to be. We don't have a use for it. It's probably one of the last decisions I think we'll make. It may sit there for a while. It may be, there's talk and there's some consideration of building a new HOA office and then a new police substation, and it may go on that side, on the opposite side of the Oasis. The thought there was that if we can put those 2 buildings and offices there with their parking lot, when the summer, let's say July 4th events occur at the Oasis, we can now use that parking lot as overflow parking to come into the Oasis as well. So that's the only thought that has been given to that site right now. There were some grand ideas back 7 or 8 years ago by a land planner. Split the road and you can do great things, but he never gave us an idea of what you're supposed to do with the second part. So we're
Thank
trying
you.
to figure that out now.
Hi, I would just like to know, how long will we be considered a mud district at the mercy of Inframark?
There will always be a mud district. It's not at the mercy of Inframark. Inframark is the water purveyor that the district has chosen to handle your water services. But yeah, the mud district doesn't go away.
I do have a suggestion for the area around the Oasis. Maybe put some restaurants. That way people, or like a smoothie shop. That way from the gym they can go catch a smoothie, or from the pool they can go get something. That's just for me. But my question would be, for the cell tower, is that something that you would actually build a tower for, or is that something that you can actually put on the water tower?
They can put it on the water tower, but this is a company that actually will build 125 foot tower, and then they source out the antennas that will go on that tower. So they have the option of contacting the mud district if they want to put a cell antenna on the water tower. Everything on the inside already has the conduits, has the setup for them to put an antenna on the cell tower. I just don't know. We offered it to AT&T, and they said it's too far away from I-20 for them to get coverage on I-20. I can't answer why they don't want to do it. We've already made it available to them that they could put antennas on the cell tower if they wanted. So,
can you please tell us when will we be able to get another internet service besides AT&T?
We have no control over AT&T. We have no control over other services that want to come into the area. It'd strictly be a Dish Network or something else that I don't really know how AT&T. I really don't know how AT&T operates at all. No, there's a whole long story behind them, but they're the ones that have all the conduit, have all the service, and wire in the community. I don't know whether or not there's regulations that other service providers can come in and use it, or if it's strictly regulated for AT&T only. I really don't know. I'm sorry.
I know you guys said that you were gonna put lights by the post box, but I'm on Josephina Lane and it is dark in the whole neighborhood. So any ideas for getting street lights, period? Because it's dark.
No, when they started laying out the plans for streetlights, it was decided that there'd be a streetlight every so many 100 feet. So no, there are no plans to add any more streetlights. We recommend to homeowners that if you need more lighting around your home, that you can look at adding lights on your home or in your yard with an architectural approval.
Hi. So I live on a corner lot, and I know in the HOA it is a requirement that in the architecture it's a requirement that we have the live oak trees along our property on the side. Those trees have a tendency of causing issues with sprinkler systems, with the concrete. I'm sorry. With the sidewalks, and the homeowners are having to fix these issues. So, have there been any thought into not requiring us to have those trees and having another option available for us?
I mean, some streets, the new design guidelines are reducing the number of trees that are going in the parkways. They're going up in the lots. A lot of it has to do with the amount of irrigation you do. If there isn't enough water for the tree to soak down and get the water, it's going to spread out. And that's really, if you look at the number of trees in the community, it's probably less than 1% of them that cause any issues on the curb lines, on the sidewalks, everything else. Things have changed in the design guidelines to try to get rid of those going forward. Previous developer, that's what they had in their design guidelines, was to install these street trees. Just in the documents that were filed with the county just a couple months ago, that requirement for the street trees has been removed, or it's been reduced from 3 trees to 2 trees. But
Okay, for essence of time, this will be our last question.
Okay, this goes back to the very first question that she asked about the crosswalks. You know, Dottie, we've dealt with traffic signs in the neighborhood example. So I'm going to use this example, a school zone in front of the new middle school, okay? In some of the answers in the questions of the pamphlet, it says it's a public street. Okay, it's a public street, and the police officer will enforce the speed limit sign if it's posted. However, the HOA is the one who puts in signs, because I've had you put in signs, and you've asked me about that. So, but then when it comes to when he writes his ticket for someone speeding in a 25 mile per hour, he refers back to the mud code. That's where the speed limit's written down. So when we need crosswalks in front of a school, by the way, I'm a traffic engineer, that's why I'm asking this question. You know, it's a public street, so what authority do we have to go put a crosswalk in if we could, or crosswalk signs if it's a public street? Like, who has jurisdiction over doing those type of things? Because the developer They're using their engineer to go build all these new streets. At what point does this no longer a developer street and it's a public street? Or where does the HOA authority end? I know that's where we're all confused about that. Who really has authority to do what we're asking for if it's
Okay.
not the HOA?
Okay, the crosswalks are the responsibility of the school district. So it's up to them to decide where to put crosswalks. If there is not and Chief Ryerson, please correct me if I'm wrong here. It's my understanding that if there's not a speed limit sign on a street, it's automatically 25 miles per hour ordinance. According to the district ordinance, if there's not a speed limit sign, it's automatically 25 miles per hour. However, we are currently looking at adding some stop signs, and I will be getting with Chief Ryerson. I mean, not stop signs, speed limit signs. And I will get with Chief Ryerson, and we'll look at adding some speed limit signs. And feel free to reach out to me. I'd love your input. Okay? All right. Let's go to the after party.